Hello and welcome to Investment Insight. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe and hit the like button. Now let's break down what's happening in the markets today in a clear and simple way.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one.
So welcome to today's deep dive. We are looking at a fundamental, honestly kind of crazy rewiring of the entire digital economy.
Truly unprecedented.
Right. We're talking about shift away from the old, surge traffic model and into this completely new era of what's being called the zero-click economy,
Yeah,
which is basically all about data rights and brand loyalty.
exactly. And, navigating this shift is particularly crucial right now for everyday American investors.
Oh, absolutely.
Because if you look at the broader economic climate under the current Trump administration, where market dynamics and these massive tech valuations are being so heavily scrutinized, I mean, you really need to know how these internet giants are actually making their money.
Yeah, the rules are being rewritten as we speak. So, I mean, every time you pull out your phone to, ask Google a quick question, you're actually participating in this massive economic shift. It is shaking up the stock market and digital businesses everywhere.
It really is.
Okay, let's unpack this, because it feels like magic to the user, right?
Huh.
You type a question, and the answer just sort of materializes at the top of the page in that little AI box.
Right, the AI overview.
Yeah, you read it, you close your browser, and you're done. But what's actually happening behind the screen?
Well, let's look at some recent data to really get under the hood here.
Mm-hmm.
According to a May 2026 R6 study, those Google AI overviews are now active on about 13.7% of all queries.
Wait, 13.7%? That honestly sounds like a rounding error. Like if I'm an investor looking at tech stocks, a 13% feature doesn't exactly sound like a massive economic earthquake.
Yeah, no, it sounds minor at first, but you have to look at how humans actually use the internet. When that same study isolated question-based searches.
Like asking how to do something.
Exactly. Queries like, how do I fix a leaky faucet? Or what's the penalty for withdrawing from a Roth IRA early? When they looked at those, that number explodes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, AI overviews are triggered on a massive 64.7% of those question-based searches.
Wow. Okay, so nearly two-thirds of the time someone is actually asking the internet for an explanation, the AI is jumping in front of them.
Right, it intercepts them. And we actually have the metrics on how effectively it blocks that interaction.
What does that look like?
Well, Pew Research data from 2025 shows that when an AI summary pops up, the click-through rate to traditional website links drops from 15% down to 8%.
Geez, so it's basically cut in half.
Cut in half, yeah. And if we zoom out, historically, Google was like a digital dispatcher. Back in 2011, it sent over 70% of its traffic out to other websites. Today, the outbound traffic has dropped into the mid 40% range.
That's a huge drop. So for a beginner investor trying to picture this, think of the old internet, like an interstate highway, right? And it's lined with billboards.
Okay, I like this.
Yeah, so websites like news outlets, recipe blogs, they put up these billboards.
Mm-hmm.
And their whole goal is to get you to pull off at their specific exit, drive into their town, and, buy a burger.
Right, and the burger is viewing their banner ads or subscribing.
Exactly. But now Google's AI has essentially built a massive drive-through window right in the middle of the highway fast lane. You get your food instantly. You
Yeah.
never take the exit.
Never visit the town.
Never visit the town. And because no cars are ever pulling in, the local businesses just go bankrupt.
That's a perfect way to put it. And
Right.
what's fascinating here is that this isn't some glitch or like a temporary beta feature. It is the new default state of the internet.
Right. But, okay, let me play devil's advocate for a second.
Sure.
Because as a consumer, I kind of love just getting the answer.
Mhm.
Like if I want to know how long to boil an egg, I don't want to dig through a recipe blog's entire life story about their summer in Italy.
Yeah.
If-
Nobody does.
Right. So isn't this just better technology? I mean, when Wikipedia came out, everyone panicked, but we adapted. Why is this any different?
I get the comparison, but the underlying economics are totally different because with Wikipedia, you still had to actually visit wikipedia.org, right? It still operated on standard internet traffic.
Oh, I see.
To understand the real danger, we have to look at how websites actually make money. Most of the internet runs on a very specific, very fragile metric, the page view.
Okay.
A publisher spends money to write an article, you click the link, your browser loads the page, and in that split second, software auctions off the blank space on that screen to advertisers.
So an ad pops up and they make a fraction of a cent.
Exactly. But if an AI reads that recipe, digests it, and just hands you the egg boiling time right on the search page.
The page never loads.
Right. The AI takes the value of the content, but the website gets 0 page views. 0 page views means no ad auction, which means 0 revenue.
Man. So the user gets what they want, but the creator gets nothing,
Hmm.
which leads to what analysts call the death spiral, right?
Yes, the death spiral. And it's brutal. Step 1, the revenue drops. Step 2, the publisher has to slash costs just to survive.
So they fire journalists, photographers, that sort of thing.
Exactly. And step 3, high-quality original content just stops being made.
Because why would a media company spend, thousands of dollars sending a reporter to cover a local city council meeting if an AI is just going to scrape the bullet points and give it away for free?
They wouldn't. And a January 2026 study actually confirmed this risk. It showed that while these AI overviews are great for users right now, they are actively destroying the content ecosystem long term.
Which hurts the AI eventually, right?
Exactly, because AI models aren't actually intelligent. They can't invent new facts. They need a constant stream of human-created data to learn from. If publishers go bankrupt, the AI eventually has no new accurate data to scrape.
So it just starts eating its own garbage, basically.
Yeah.
The machine starves itself.
Yep. It's a completely unsustainable loop.
So wait, if we're in this death spiral, surely regulators are noticing this. I mean, are the tech giants just walking off a cliff? Or is the global market pushing back?
Oh, they are pushing back. And this is where the global investment landscape gets really fascinating. Because recently, according to analysis from June 3, 2026, the UK's Competition and Markets Authority, the CMA, made a massive move.
Yeah, I saw Reuters and The Guardian calling it a world first.
It absolutely was. They intervened in what was essentially a hostage situation between Google and content creators.
Okay, break down that hostage situation for me. Because under the old rules, Google basically said, hey, we're going to scrape your site for our AI, and if you block us, we'll punish you by removing you from our normal Google search entirely.
Right, you just vanish from the internet, which is a death sentence for any business. You either give them your product for free or you lose all your traffic.
So wait, if I'm a publisher today and I use this new UK ruling to opt out, why wouldn't Google just bury my website on page 50 out of spite?
Because the CMA ruling forces a separation of powers. Before, the crawler that indexed your site for regular search and the crawler that stole your data for AI were a package deal.
Oh, okay.
Now they have to let publishers block the AI crawler without suffering any penalty in the traditional search rankings.
Wow. So I can lock the AI out, but still show up as a normal blue link when someone searches for my brand.
Exactly. And this raises an important question. Who actually bears the cost of this convenience? This ruling gives publishers real negotiation power. AI search isn't just a cool product anymore, it's regulated infrastructure. Platforms like Google are being forced to balance their AI dominance with the survival of the publishers.
That is huge. But, I mean, regulation takes years sometimes. Businesses have to survive today. So here's where it gets really interesting. How are real American businesses surviving this right now?
Well, there is a survival playbook emerging. Look at the publisher People Inc. Their CEO, Neil Vogel, shared some crazy internal numbers recently. They watched their Google traffic plummet from 75% of their total audience down to just 25%.
Which, for 99% of companies, losing 2/3 of your main traffic would mean instant bankruptcy.
Instantly. But People Inc. actually maintained their online revenue.
Wait, really? How?
Because they stopped being a search traffic company and completely pivoted to becoming a brand and data company.
Ah, so they basically dug a moat around their business. And looking at the data, they did this using 3 main pillars, right?
Right.
Let's talk about the first one. Content licensing. What does that actually look like in practice?
So instead of giving their data to the AI for free, they block the crawlers. Then they go directly to companies like OpenAI, Meta, and Google and force them to pay.
Oh, wow. They charge them.
Exactly. They say, if you want our high-quality data to train your AI, you have to sign a licensing agreement. They turned their archives into a highly lucrative asset.
So instead of fighting the machine, they're just selling it gas.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's pillar 1. What's pillar 2?
Internal AI use. But, and this is crucial, they don't use AI to replace their human journalists.
Because having AI write articles is just a race to the bottom.
Right. Instead, they use AI to do all the boring back-end stuff. Tagging, SEO optimization, summarizing. It makes the humans more efficient so they can focus on real reporting.
Which leads perfectly into the third pillar, heritage and real-world assets.
Yes.
Because think about it, an AI can write a summary of a movie,
Yeah.
but it can't sit down and do an exclusive face-to-face celebrity interview.
Right. It can't host a physical community event or build real brand trust.
It's like a local mom-and-pop shop, right?
Right.
They realize they can't beat a giant big-box store on cheap inventory.
Ah,
If you play the volume game against a giant, you lose.
definitely.
So they pivot. They start selling their secret family recipes. They host exclusive community events. You have to sell what the machine can't copy.
That is exactly it. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, especially for an investor's portfolio, what we are witnessing is the end of the free internet.
Which sounds kind of scary, but it really just means the era of cheap, easily scraped data is over. So how do we invest in this? Let's map out the winners and losers.
Well, the biggest losers are SEO content farms. You know, those recipe sites or basic product comparison blogs that just exist to get clicks?
Yeah, the ones that are just fluff.
Right. Their business model is doomed. AI can summarize that stuff instantly.
So if a tech company's only advantage is gaming the Google algorithm, investors should run.
Absolutely. The winners, on the other hand, are companies with exclusive proprietary data, financial data, medical records, sports stats, legal databases.
Stuff the AI absolutely cannot get wrong.
Right. And tech companies building the infrastructure for this, like copyright tracking and content authentication, they're going to boom.
Okay, but we have to talk about Google itself. Because Alphabet always looks like an invincible monopoly,
Mhm.
but this zero-click shift actually puts them in a really tough spot, right?
A huge dilemma because AI searches cost significantly more computing power than traditional searches.
Oh, because of all the processors required to generate the text.
Exactly. Plus, now they're facing massive margin pressure because they might actually have to pay those licensing fees to publishers on top of legal compliance costs.
Meanwhile, ad dollars are shifting, right?
Mhm.
If I'm an advertiser, I don't want to buy ads on an AI summary that people look at for 2 seconds.
Exactly. Ad budgets are moving away from traditional Google search. They're going to TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, retail media networks like Amazon Search Bar, and podcasts, places with real human engagement.
You can't build brand loyalty at a drive-through window.
You really can't. We're seeing a massive redistribution of digital wealth.
Wow. Okay, so to wrap up, is there anything else investors need to keep their eyes on?
Well, there is one final pretty chilling thought from tech researcher Rand Fishkin.
Oh, what's that?
We talked about the AI starving without new content, but Fishkin warns that if AI companies get desperate enough, they might just start paying creators directly
Paying them to do what?
to make content specifically for the AI models to read rather than for humans to enjoy.
Wait, so not writing an article for a person.
Right, creating hyper-structured, bizarre content that just feeds the machine perfectly. We could end up with an AI-tailored internet that completely alienates actual human readers.
Just a feeding trough for machines. Wow, that is a wild, unsettling thought to leave on. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button.